Hey y'all, hi. So I have been watching, in the limited amount of time that I have to watch YouTube, I have lately been watching the channel of my dear and longtime friend, Lauren Mae Beauty, a modern classic beauty guru, a masterful creator of pure, direct, intelligent, focused reviews of beauty products. She is such a delight to watch. She's such a delight to be with, but I've also been really appreciating how great she is at her job, how far she's come, because we've been making YouTube content together, like side by side for years, and I've watched her evolve as I myself have evolved. It's been like fueling my passion about products and about reviewing products because that's what she does so well. And I decided to dip into a very old school YouTube beauty framework for a video. So-and-so made me buy it. So I have a handful of products here that I was inspired to buy specifically because of Lauren. And I have been testing them, okay? I've been using them pretty much daily for a couple of weeks now, and I have a lot to say. I have like my own take about all of these products. As always, if you're new, I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll check out my recently published book, which I'll link at the top of the description box. As always, my name is Hannah, and let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Okay, first up, I'm going in order of like how I would apply the things, and I'm wearing everything, and I'll show you application footage, but not of this one, not of the first product, because it's a deodorant. You know, Lauren has a second channel, Lauren Mae Fragrance. I've been watching the beauty channel, and the fragrance stuff will sometimes spill over onto the beauty channel. So she was singing the praises of Vanilla Skin, which is like a viral PHLUR scent. I do love a vanilla scent, but I'm not as into the gourmand category lately as like the main scent on my body. So it's not the kind of thing that I would run out and buy for myself. But Lauren was well, not necessarily recently, because I watched all of her really great holiday content, like unboxing advent calendars, so perfect to watch while I'm working out. But then I started digging back into like broad product reviews that she's been doing over like the past 6 months. So it might not have been all that recent. PHLUR turned Vanilla Skin into a deodorant. Here's what got me. One, it's a complex and conceived of gourmand scent. So something layered, something that people are wearing as a perfume. So it's going to smell that good. It's not just going to be like a flat eucalyptus or like coconut or something. Or I just feel like all of the deodorants that I want to use, they're available in scents, but the scents are just not something I would even want to layer with the perfumes that I want to wear. Vanilla Skin, however, I thought that might be something I would want to layer with the perfumes that I want to wear. The other thing that got me is that it has acids in it. I have exclusively for years been using serum deodorants that have like AHAs in them to kill the bacteria in my underarms. For natural deodorant, I've been finding that that is what works. And this, even though it's not a serum deodorant, it still has those AHAs in it. So I was like, where have you been all my life? Because the serum, I didn't realize until I got this and started using it. I'm tired of putting like squelchy, wet stuff on my underarms. And then it's like, what do I do? Stand around like this waiting for it to dry? Like walking around like this waiting for it to dry? Or do I dab at it with something and then I've got deodorant on that thing? And then there's not as much on my underarm, which is where I needed it in the first place. This is just a traditional stick deodorant. I don't think it leaves any white cast. I haven't noticed it on anything or gotten it on anything. It hasn't been a problem for me. It's so much more pleasant to apply. It works, right? I feel like it works just as well as those serums. It smells maybe not as nuanced as I was hoping. It says top notes, pink pepper, pink apple, and sugar crystals. Heart, lily, jasmine petals, cashmere wood. Base, benzoin, vanilla, sandalwood, and agar wood. And you know, it smells like cotton candy. To me, it just smells like really great cotton candy. I smell like cotton candy. At the beginning, I wasn't sure I would like it, and now I love it. Especially if I wear another scent on top of it and it mixes with it. It's like it gives whatever scent that is a really sweet base, makes it a little more complex and a little softer. I really love it. I wonder if Joe, I'm gonna text him. I wonder if he's noticed, because I feel like since this arrived a few weeks ago, I have smelled like cotton candy every day and night. Have you noticed me smelling like cotton candy? Asking for science. We'll see if he responds. Anyway, this is a smash hit for me. I don't even think Lauren liked this. Or maybe I think that she was just I don't even think she had used it in the video that I saw it in. I feel like she just likes Vanilla Skin. The scent kind of sold me on that. But as a deodorant, maybe it wasn't her favorite. For me though, like my favorite thing in 2025 so far, to be frank. I'm so into this. And I ordered this directly from the PHLUR site. I'm not sure you can get it anywhere else. Oh, Joe's responding. no. He says no. He hasn't noticed me smelling like cotton candy. But also I've had a cold for 2 weeks. Valid, but I was smelling like cotton candy for at least a week before he got his cold and he didn't notice. He has a pretty good sense of smell, but this is good news to me actually, because I feel like what's going on is that I can smell it. My underarms smell like cotton candy, but it's not strong enough of a scent that it's like filling up the room with the smell of cotton candy, which I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want it to be wearing on me as if I had put the perfume on. I just want that to be the slight kind of warm, close to the skin undercurrent. And that's apparently what it is if Joe hasn't noticed it. Not that he's not smelling my underarms once in a while. Apparently not often enough. Product number 2. Lauren has been talking about this for years. For years she's been talking about this on her channel. The Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. Honestly, I almost didn't get it because I have always thought that I would not like it. I've always thought that it would just be like a watery fluff that doesn't do anything. Like a watery serum that's just a hyaluronic acid serum not with niacinamide. I don't even know if it's hyaluronic acid. A niacinamide serum that you can kind of get anywhere, but it's like people like it because it smells like Jolly Rancher. And I know that Lauren likes sweeter things or she likes sweet things a little more than I do. So it smells like candy, but just the bottle, everything about it to me says viral for aesthetics and smell and the experience, but not serious, like not serious skincare. Like everything about this says to me, not serious skincare. Lauren swears by it though. She and Sam both use it. They say that it's amazing for their skin. They love, 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 love it. So I was like, I'm gonna try it. I was like, I have to, what if I love everything? I was worried I was gonna love everything and then it was just gonna be like womp womp, like no tension, you know? So I was like, I'll put something in there that I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be able to be critical of, so there will be some tension in the video. Here's the thing. It's way better than I expected, okay? And the thing that surprised me is the thickness of it. It's actually quite beefy. Also, the bottle small, I was like, it's just gonna be this Jolly Rancher water that's gonna do nothing, and I'm gonna go through it in like 2 seconds. That's what I thought. It's actually quite a thick, when you first apply it, 1 pump will cover the face. For the purposes of the video, I used 2 pumps, so you could really see the texture and really see the effect, but 1 pump will cover the whole face. It's a pretty small amount that it pumps out, so I think that this is actually gonna last a lot longer than I anticipated. And it's really hefty. Like it really provides a barrier. It could be for me a last step in skincare in the morning, like almost the priming step before I go in with skincare. And it does have a little bit of a glow. So it works well kind of as a primer. It's definitely a layering step at night. Like I layer it under heftier things, but I have been very happy to reach for this every time that I reach for it. I feel like it doesn't feel heavy duty. It doesn't feel like it's doing a lot of heavy lifting in terms of maybe improving skin texture or tone, but it is a great dose of niacinamide for the skin. Cosmetically, the way that it goes on, the texture, the way that it applies, the way that it layers with other things, it's a very good product. It's exactly what I would want in a serum. The Watermelon Jolly Rancher smell, I don't need it to be like that. I don't think I'll purchase it again, but I do get the hype, right? I get the hype at large, and I totally get what Lauren has been talking about all of these years. Maybe I'll miss it when it's gone so much that I'll get it. We'll see. Okay, the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm in Blueberry. If you know Lauren, you know that she loves the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask almost more than the Niacinamide Glow Drops. These are like Lauren Mae Beauty classics, like greatest hits over here. So when Laneige came out with a lip balm in a squeeze tube, which is also a category that Lauren loves, and one that I have grown to newly to appreciate. It's another thing that I used to be like, okay, girl, whatever. Like she had so many lip balms and things like this, and I would just have one, and I was like, I only need one. And then lately I've been like, I get it now. I get what Lauren, I have like so many of these. That's my favorite category of makeup. So I was like, I have to try this. Her favorite, I would say, I think from watching all of her recent content from 2024 was the Ole Henriksen, which I also think is amazing. The original one with the creamsicle scent, the orange one, really amazing. So this did kind of have a lot to live up to, but Lauren, in spite of loving the Ole Henriksen and talking about it a lot, has also shouted this out a lot and talked about how great it is. She has it in like every scent. I think Blueberry is the one I would have chosen anyway, but I think that she said in a video that if she had to recommend just one, maybe it would be the Blueberry. I like the sort of exciting, neutral, weird color. Theoretically, I like a blueberry scent. I like kind of a specific fruit, specific berry. And here's the thing. I thought I was going to get tension with the Watermelon Glow Drops, but no, it's here. The smell is fine. I like the way that it applies, the way that it looks. The thickness is exactly what I anticipated. It's a lot like the Ole Henriksen, but just not quite as thick and doesn't have quite as much stick-to-itiveness as the Ole Henriksen. But it tastes like Herbal Essence's conditioner, as kind of been mixed into it. And this is something I come across once in a while. I wonder if there's a skincare ingredient or a scent ingredient in some lip products or in some skincare that cause me to taste that taste inside of my mouth, and it just happens to also be in this product. It's maybe a little bit floral, and so it tastes like shampoo to me. It's just, there's an aftertaste or like a mixed in taste mixed in with the blueberry scent. I don't know if it's part of the blueberry scent. I don't think that it is. I think it's the product itself. So like a flavor that the blueberry scent is failing to cover up that I really don't like. I've tried it a lot of times in different circumstances, hoping that it would just have been circumstantial. But no, every time it tastes the same. I'm not into it. I might not continue to use it, even though I like everything else about it except for that. So this has ended up being a miss for me. I feel like if that taste isn't there for you, or if it's something you don't mind, I could totally see you loving it. Like that's probably the situation for Lauren. I've wanted to want it. The packaging's so great. This little cap, it's so solid. It's the perfect combination of like a slight luxe feeling and something really utilitarian. It's so lovely, but it's a no because of that one quality. Okay, this, I was gonna say it's kind of a reach that Lauren Mae Beauty made me buy it, but that's not true because I totally just bought it because I saw her talking about it in a video and I was planning this video. You know what I mean? I was trying to kind of get a full face out of things that she really made me curious about. This totally made sense for the eyes, but also when she was talking about it and when I was thinking about it and then looking into it, I was like, that's actually the perfect eyeshadow palette for me right now, for us right now, like Lauren and me, because we both kind of come to this place, such an about face from a few years ago when it was just all about thick, oily, like greasy, creasy, flaky shadow. Not for Lauren necessarily, but for me. And she was doing a lot more color at the time, like color, duochromes, multi-chromes, etc. And I was doing a lot of those oil slick eyes and just really thick, dramatic makeup. We've really both moved away from that kind of eye makeup and into the realm of what I would call red carpet makeup or very light eye looks, wearable, daytime, kind of neutral, just a gloss. What Lauren always says is, it makes me feel pretty. Like just eye makeup that makes you feel pretty, you know? But in that realm, so much eye makeup is too warm for me. Like so many neutral palettes just look orange on me. And this is the kind of formula, these really high-end like luxury makeup formulas, this is the kind of formula that I used to eschew because it didn't have enough bite for me. Like it wasn't enough of an art supply for me, didn't have as much pigment as I wanted. I couldn't manipulate, I couldn't build it up. It would just be like a wash on the lid. Well, guess what? All I want now is a wash on the lid. And these are the truly neutral colors. It's trying to be cool toned, right? It's or smoky. The Dior Backstage eye palette in 002 Smoky Essential. So it's trying to be a smoky eye. That's not what I'm doing. It's just because it's trying to be a smoky eye, it's got these cool neutrals with that really sophisticated shimmer that I crave. I have loved having this palette. I recently reviewed a NARS palette that is also 9 pans like this and is sort of little and square like this because it has a few shades in it that are similar to a few of the standout shades in this palette. However, the other shades in the NARS palette, the ones that I am not as drawn to, are like really rich reddish mattes. And in this case, the other shades are incredibly useful for me, like a pale white, a pale beige, a black if I ever wanted to really deepen a look, or like a dark charcoal, a burgundy, and they all have that sort of semi-sheer, slightly sheeny, easy to blend quality. This is the dream. It's like I designed it. Okay, it's like Dior called me up and was like, let's design a palette together. And I did it. I've been wearing eye makeup so many days that I wouldn't otherwise wear it because of this palette. And also because the formula is so watery and weak and effortless, I can just put it on with my finger and it always looks great. Today, I ended up going in with like this really incredible blackened, multicolored, shifting, really subtle, sheeny color and deepening up the outer corner, making it a little bit more intense. Like the look is a little more intense than what I've been wearing in the everyday. But isn't this the perfect light eye look? I just feel like it's so sophisticated, so flattering. I just absolutely love. I've mostly been using the middle shade and then the shade above it to get a soft blend into my brow bone. Because I went into that darker shade, I went in with a brush and did a little bit more blending today. But it's funny, it's like I'm going at it with my fingers most days. I'm just like, and then maybe it's a little uneven, but it's almost like my skin, my body heat warms it up a little and it sort of redistributes itself. And about 20-30 minutes later, it looks perfect. Like all the time. I'm so into this. Maybe my favorite thing. I don't know. I just feel like this is going to travel with me everywhere. It's going to be by my side. It's so sturdy and it feels like it can kind of take a beating a little bit and the shadows aren't going to fall out because they're pretty sturdy. It's easy to open and close, unlike the NARS palette. That's actually the main reason that this has replaced the NARS NARS palette as the one that's like right in my makeup bag that I want to reach for all the time. I liked that NARS palette, and this to me is everything that I wish it had been, everything that it wasn't, even though I liked it. I really love it. It's funny, I knew that I liked it, but until I started talking about it, I kind of wasn't aware of how quickly it had just sprung to the top of my list of things, like makeup that I have and makeup that I've tried like in the past year. Okay, this effing mascara, and I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. Hold on, I have to look it up. I was looking up whether it is indeed a tubing mascara because it's not acting like one. That's what Lauren said. That's what sold me on this. And that has also been my experience. I historically despise tubing mascaras. Lauren has said they're not usually her favorite, but that she likes this one. That opened the door for me to stick my little toe through. Okay, and try it, I guess on my foot, on my nail, if I'm only sticking my toe through. I trusted her. I went out on a limb. I historically despise tubing mascaras for several reasons that I've enumerated before, and I'll do it quickly now. When my eyes water, if they water throughout the day, or if I, God forbid, shed a tear, like if I cry at all, which is like most days these days, honestly. The world we're living in, my friends. The water causes the tubes to just slide right off, but then they stick together, so you end up with blank lashes and red eyes, and then this like weird gunky spidery thing like stuck to one of your lashes, and it's disgusting. Whereas if you cry in regular mascara, you might end up with a sort of sensually smudged like bedroom eye, you know what I mean? And a tubing mascara does not take you there. Then when you do remove it in the bath, say, the little tubes like go everywhere and they stick on you, and they like stick to the sides of the tub, and then maybe they do smear a little bit, and then you've got stuff on the tub. It's like a mess. It's supposed to be really easy to remove because water just washes them right off, right? And on top of that, they never look good. Like you can't build, I can never build, I can never get a long, lush, fluffy lash. It's always just like just a little bit of spidery, sticky stuff on my lashes, and that's it. This, it says it has next gen tubing tech, which I believe, because what I would say that this is, all of what I just described being the definition of a tubing mascara, I would say that this is not a tubing mascara. It is a regular mascara that comes off in like kind of crumbles and clumps when you wash it instead of melting, instead of like dissolving when you wash it. But it doesn't like slide off in all those little sticks like tubing mascaras do. However, it's much easier to remove and removes much more cleanly than other mascaras. And in that way, I think it's making use of tubing technology. But all of the other things are not true about it. All the other bad things are not true about it. I haven't noticed it kind of sliding off and leaving my lashes totally blank and weird looking during the day. I removed it in the bath last night and it was totally fine. Didn't get it everywhere. But most importantly, it applies beautifully. It looks beautiful. Gives me this kind of fluffy lash from which some lashes extend further, like very lengthening. It's like a certain type of false lash. A false lash, the design of which is a pretty fluffy base, like soft and wispy and fluffy close to the lash line, but then a few extra long lashes that sort of stick out at even intervals, like single long wisps. That's the lash that I ended up getting from this, and I really, really like that. I really like how it builds on itself, how it lengthens without clumping together. It does create a relatively good amount of volume. The other mascara that I've fallen in love with recently is the Ami Collet, and it's kind of given the Ami Collet a run for its money. I've been going back and forth between the two because the Ami Collet gives a little bit more of a high voltage lengthened look, like it's a little more traditional, can build a little bit better and a little more. But the light touch of this, and then the ease of use and knowing that it's going to come off so easily at the end of the day, it's really, really attracting me. It feels exciting to have come across two mascaras that I genuinely love and want to use pretty recently. It just meant that I've, been doing a little more because I want to apply mascara every day instead of it being like, oh, my poor lashes, my poor eyes. All right, here we are. We've arrived at it, potentially the big one, the one that some of you already want to know about because I wore this in a video. Which one was it? Oh, it was New Makeup Hot Takes, right? Yeah, New Makeup Hot Takes. I wore this in New Makeup Hot Takes last week and all y'all were in the comments like, what's on your lips? What's on your lips? And I was like, I can't tell you because I'm preparing this other video. I guess I could have told you. I just didn't want to spill the beans, okay? I wanted this video to be a surprise. The REFY Blur Liner that Lauren can't stop going on about, but in my perfect shade, the shade Umber. It is the perfect shade. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the color, because look at it. Look at it. It's perfect. It's actually really giving what NARS Bewitched has kind of been giving me, but it's easier to apply because I don't have to get out a brush. I can just use the big nubbin of this. It's like a big, soft, rounded applicator, so it applies almost as if you're using your finger to blur out the edge or a a brush to blur out the edge. And because it's not too intensely pigmented and because it's sort of got that soft, blurry slide to it, it's really easy to get a soft lip line that you don't feel like you even need to blur with your fingers only using this, which I love. This is a problem with it that Lauren has talked about on her channel several times. As soon as I got it and opened the lid, it came flying out, just like Lauren said that it would. And it's a struggle to keep, it's just loose in there. It's a struggle to keep it in there. I kind of understand Lauren being like, it's worth it. Like it's worth it handling it a little bit delicately because of the benefits, because of the result. This color is everything to me. It's such a great brown. It really is. My lips, which are pretty pigmented, right? My lips, but way better in the color family that suits my coloring so well. Like for my very pale olive skin, my hair color, this lip color is just, it's the perfect My Lips, but better. And I love it so much. And I think you guys could tell, like in that video, you were like, whoa, that's a great lip. What is it? It was this. One thing I'll say, it's a bit drying. I find it a bit drying and it's like, it's almost like it dries out my lips and then it makes them wrinkle up and shrink a little bit. So then it ends up sort of darkening and not looking, I don't usually mind that sort of sensually wind rasped lip look. But right now, when I was editing New Makeup Hot Takes, actually, I was like, oh, my lips, they just look a little bit unevenly like dark and dry, you know? So here's what I'm going to do. I didn't want to do this before because I wanted you to be able to see just this product only on my lips when I was talking about it. And I put a little bit of the Herbal Essences flavored Laneige lip mask on it. Yeah, that's ideal. And I feel like you can't fault the product for that kind of drying effect because it's not supposed to be all over the lips. It's not supposed to be a lipstick. It's supposed to be a lip liner. So what it's supposed to do, it does more than brilliantly. Like it does perfectly, which is to allow you to overline your lips a little bit, color in the vermilion border, and keep it looking really natural and soft and blurred into the rest of your skin. It does that flawlessly. And then the color's so great that I like to draw it onto the rest of my lips, but I think that it's being used to its best effect if you then add something a little moisturizing on the lips or maybe like a different lip color, or just something to help it not dry your lips out too much. It feels a little bit as an all over lip color, but that's slightly outside of the boundary of what it's even claiming to be able to do. So a smash hit as far as I'm concerned. Okay, next up, can you believe it? The Westman Atelier blush, which I have already tried. Okay, so I knew that the formula was good. The thing is, I learned about this limited edition color from Lauren. So the Westman Atelier blush, I love the delivery mechanism. Back in the day, I had the color that was the one I thought I would like the most from the range that existed, like the basic color range. Chouchette. I think it was Chouchette that I had. Yeah, it was the one that looked the most neutral, but it just really wasn't. It was really pink. It was really bright on me. It was just a little bit of a disappointing color. I would always much rather reach for my duskier, more neutral, kind of more brown toned blushes. And I kept it for way longer than I should have because I loved the delivery mechanism, right? I loved this. I like a stick cream blush like this. I really like just being able to swipe it right on and then tap it out with my fingers or with a brush. I even said this, I think, when I decluttered it, that if it had been a different color, a more me color, a little bit bronzier of a color, one of those colors that kind of bring out the haughty glam in my features, you know, then it would have become my absolute everyday because the formula is really, really good. So what happened was I decluttered that blush. They have come out with some other colors that are a little closer to what I wanted, but never close enough for me to make the purchase. And then I was watching Lauren's channel and I saw this supposedly limited edition shade called Garconne, just pinched mauve, like a really dusky brownie mauve. And I was like, oh, how limited edition, because it was months ago that she filmed that video. So I went to Sephora and they still have it. They still are selling it. And I added it to the video. I added it to the cart. It's perfect. I have come across other stick blushes and the one that I've loved the most is the one from Rhode in Sleepy Girl. This is like the Westman Atelier version of Rhode Sleepy Girl. There's something about the color that it makes me kind of like, it makes me a little, you know, it looks a little editorial on me. I feel it looks just a little bit haute, a little bit sophisticated, as opposed to just being like, oh, bright, cheery cheeks. Like it makes a woman out of me instead of making a girl out of me. And most blushes make a girl out of me. So Sleepy Girl, which is also kind of a dusky mauve, makes a woman out of me, but a little bit less than this. This is a little darker, a little more pigmented, a littler amount goes a longer way, and it just gives a slightly more dramatic, more sculpted effect. It doesn't have, Rhode has this like exquisite finish to it, but the finish of this is pretty good too. I dare say that this may have replaced that as the one that I'm the most excited to reach for. It's that great. It's that perfect for me. I could see myself if I was making like a capsule makeup bag right now, including both this and Rhode Sleepy Girl, and reaching for Rhode Sleepy Girl on days when I wanted a slightly lighter blush look because it's easier to blend it out further and it ends up looking just a little bit more skin-like and natural, like is she or isn't she wearing anything on her cheeks. Whereas this, the temptation, because it's so delicious, is to put on enough blush so that you can see it, so that it's very clearly like a look, like part of the look. And that's the face. Lauren Mae Beauty made me buy it, and look how good it even looks. I mean, everything's so great. Not as much tension potentially as one would have hoped for, but that makes sense, right? That's what we like to see. Lauren knows what she's talking about. I have one more thing that's not for the face, so I saved it for the end. It's the Day Fairy Duster Dry Shampoo. I was really excited to try it because it's a style of product that I really love. Hair Story has something like this. It's like a powder that pumps out with an air puff. It's a little bit of a sticky powder, right? It's a dry shampoo, so it soaks in oils, creates volume, just refreshes the hair, but it's not like a wet spray dry shampoo, which I really, from an aerosol can, I really don't like. That's just too much for me. It's too much product. It's too much stuff. The Hair Story product like this, I loved. I used it until the pump didn't work anymore, and then I would like tap the powder out into my hair, but it just became such a mess. And I had it for years, like years and years and years. I've always meant to repurchase it, but it's pretty expensive, honestly. It's kind of expensive, and I just never could bring myself to place the order from Hair Story. But in the context of this video, with Lauren recommending this, with it being at Sephora, which is where I got all of these things, so I was able to just add it into my order instead of placing like a separate order from Hair Story. I was like, I've got to try it. And she also said the smell was really good. The smell is it's citrus. It's like a nice, soft, sweet citrus scent, but it doesn't linger. It doesn't make me smell like that, which I appreciate. It is great. Not too sticky, not too intense, totally serves its purpose, really adds volume to the hair. I think you can see how well it worked in the footage of me applying it today before I started filming. This is maybe third day hair or something. Yeah, it hasn't been that long since I washed my hair. It wasn't like really heavy and starting to get a little bit dense at the roots, you know? It was like looking pretty good already. But adding this product really, it's almost like it aerated it inside, you know what I mean? It added this sort of like texture and pieciness once I rubbed it in, just gave it a little bit of structure. It's just a great, great hair product. This was so fun. It was so fun to test out some of Lauren's favorites. Maybe I should try again, but like pick things that I think I won't like that she does like. Like that would be a more dramatic video. But for this time, I tried at least a little bit, and I didn't, you know, absolutely love everything. Needless to say, you must check out Lauren's channel if you don't watch her, right? If you don't know her, especially if you love the beauty content, right? If you love just straight up makeup and skincare reviews, like hardcore from a passionate beauty lover who used to be a makeup artist, like a career, like a professional makeup artist for film. Lauren is so wonderful and cozy to watch and spend time with. So thanks, Lauren, for all of these recommendations. It's been a joy. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this one, and I really hope you're taking extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work.